everybody. Welcome to Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and it's a Monday. Oh, let's try it. It's a money-making Monday as we have Monday Night Football, college edition, with the Wolverines facing the Huskies tonight. Big show. I mean, so much to talk about. We have the national championship game tonight. We have the final. Well, how many teams is it? 14 teams? 2, 4, 6, 7, 14 teams in the NFL. So lots to talk about today on the show. Chris Andrews, the director of the sportsbook here at the lovely South Point Casino. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen, the South Point Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, right off the 15. If you're coming in from LA, we're the first thing you see once you hit Vegas. And joining me as always, because it's a Monday, it's Alex White, Miss White, Mrs. White, Miss White,
Miss White,
Miss White. Sorry, there you go. I got it. Miss White was that was one of the things in Clue. That was a character in the game Clue. There was a Mrs. White. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah.
Who did you
always picked that one, of course.
I was always Colonel Mustard.
I knew you were going to say
that. You knew I was
going to
say that? Well, I loved Mustard. I liked that. Professor Plum was okay, but he's a little stuffy. So Colonel Mustard was cool, and and then I later became a colonel in the Marines. So anyway, no laugh on that. Oh, okay, and nice try. Ryan, what game piece were you in Clue when you would play Clue? Didn't matter? Were you a big Clue fan? It wasn't a video game, so I know.
We played it. My mom was more of a Monopoly fan.
Oh, yeah.
So we played more Monopoly than Clue.
Speaking of Monopoly and moms, I missed this back in Pittsburgh on Thanksgiving. My mom flipped the board, and I know she's watching right now saying, "Don't." I guess there was some drinking going on with my nephews, and my mom was, she flipped the board. She flipped the Monopoly board.
It gets frustrating.
It's been done.
I don't blame her.
Insane.
I liked Life a lot, though. If you're going to play a really long one, Life was
the game of Life where you had the spinner in the middle.
That's right.
And then you had the little car, and you put the little pegs in.
Yep.
They made a game show version of Game of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who hosted that?
I haven't watched it.
That was me. I was the host of that show.
That's nice.
Did you watch the show?
No.
Probably didn't even realize it was me. Yeah. Hasbro. Kevin Belenkoff, one of our expert handicappers, will be on later this week. He was one of the producers of that show, and I was the host. We did like 15 or 20 episodes. We had a really futuristic thing where the kids sat in the car, and they had this VR thing where they drove through the game to get bonus prizes. But to make the car move, it was just 2 stagehands with like sticks, like shaking the car. It's pretty cool. I think they're online. I'm not sure, but yeah.
So did you travel for that one too, or was it
we did that all in the studio in Los Angeles, and it was a lot of fun. And it was by Hasbro. It did really well. It was on the Hub, which was Hasbro's cable channel, and they had a couple other shows on there. I think Scrabble. I don't know if Kevin's watching; he'll tell me. But it was fun. Yeah, we didn't do a second season, but it was fun. We gave away trips to families that went to Hawaii.
Okay.
And I've actually stayed in touch with one of the guys. He actually will send me every year. He sends me a birthday card or a Christmas greeting saying, "Hey, thanks again for that trip to Hawaii." I'm like, I didn't pay for it, but
Nice.
I gave it to him, so he thanked me. But yeah, Game of Life. Well, speaking of Clue, there is no mystery today. We have a great show. It'll be in the billiard room with the candlestick. I always used to use the candlestick as the weapon. Alex, what do you got for us today? Coming up later today. We're teasing it.
So you wanted to talk a lot about props
Heck
for the national championship game. We have a whole sheet of it here at South Point. So I did a lot of homework. We'll go through those and see if we can find an edge on some of those. We'll talk a little hockey, but there's one that I really like, and I don't think you're going to like it. So I'll get your opinion on that because the Penguins are playing. So
they are. They're playing the Flyers, right?
They are,
it's our biggest rival in the world. Yeah, look at this sheet here at the South Point. You got to come down, place a bet. These are the all the props you can do on the national championship college football game. What is it again? CPF, FPC?
The college football playoff?
College
national
CFP.
Yeah.
CFP.
There you go.
It was the BCS for a long time. That's for us old-timers, Jesus. All right, today is January 8th, 2024, episode number 62. I should point out, Ryan, you're wearing a jersey that we haven't even mentioned the NFL season. Did your team make the playoffs? No, but Josh Fields, did he play well?
Justin
Fields? Josh Fields? I don't know who that is.
He didn't throw.
It's another athlete.
Didn't attempt a single pass in the third quarter.
Wow.
So I think that says more about Luke Getsy and his ineptitude than Justin Fields' inability to perform.
Now, you talked about this on Friday. You thought this was like the game of his career against Green Bay, right? Because first of all, they can knock out Green Bay.
Sucks.
Right? They can knock Green Bay from the playoffs, which would give Bears fans something to look forward or something to hold on to in the offseason. Sure. And you said this is the game of Justin Fields' career.
Yeah, that he would make a statement, and he wasn't even able to. The offensive line was a revolving door, and wide receivers couldn't get open. And, yeah, they just wish him the best if he's not the Bears quarterback.
Well, what do you do?
Forward,
That's what I was going to ask you. Because now, what do? You guys have the number 1 overall pick. There's 4 or 5 quarterbacks that are blue chippers.
You know, I'm at the point where it's not my decision to make. And I just do not want Caleb Williams.
You do want Caleb Williams?
Do not.
You do not. I wouldn't want him either.
Williams.
Well, what about Drake May? Because even your buddy Spencer McLaughlin is saying he feels like Drake May's the best.
Traded up to draft a North Carolina quarterback in Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, how'd that work out for the Bears before?
Well. And then the Commanders drafted another North Carolina quarterback in Sam Howell, and that worked out so well.
Sam Howell's done okay. I mean, no one ever thought he was a first-round guy, though, right?
But
all right, so who do you take with your number 1 pick if you're the Bears GM?
Trade it.
You trade it. Trade it.
Build the roster before you get the quarterback. You can trade it, get a haul, get first-round picks next year, possibly the year after, get more picks this year. You cannot put all of this pressure on one quarterback to fix the team when he will not do it. Caleb Williams, USC, Los Angeles, will not succeed in Chicago weather.
That's a good point. That's a good point right there.
That is not setting up for a future.
By the way, I thought about how the Steelers robbed that draft pick from you guys for Chase Claypool. And Chase Claypool was the intended receiver on the last play in the Colts game. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, my God. Against the Bills, I mean. And Chase Claypool. We got Joey Porter Jr. out of that, who's going to be who
would have been great on the Bears defense.
He would have looked
especially since Jalen Johnson didn't play on Sunday.
So what do the Bears do? If you're a GM, he's a Bears fan. He's talking with his heart right now. Do you take Caleb Williams at number 1?
I like Justin Fields. I wouldn't. I'm with him. I think you should build the roster around him.
Maybe trade down. What could you trade down? Maybe get Brock Bowers, get some O-line guys, like just get some strength.
Yeah.
Why do I keep seeing Brock Bowers as a bear or something? He just looks like a good bear.
Yeah, I mean, if the kid can stay healthy, he will be good on whatever team he goes to.
Yeah, he does have that thing about him. All right. So anyway, great jersey though. Is that a hoodie as well?
No, well, I have my hoodie on underneath it,
but it's also orange. Like Ryan coordinates is what he does, ladies and gentlemen. He coordinates. I am very happy yesterday the way things turned out. I didn't even have to sweat the Bills-Dolphins game.
Yep.
Right? No. I didn't even have to.
Jacksonville gave you the gift.
You know what? And I knew they would. Jacksonville, man, everyone's calling for Doug Peterson. This team made the playoffs last year, had that epic comeback against the Chargers. Now,
they had an epic collapse. They were the 1 seed and didn't even make the playoffs.
And I'll never forget this. The beginning of the year, there was a guy on TikTok that placed a bet like 20, 30,000.
Yep.
Remember that? Yep. We showed it on the show.
It was either 30 or 50. 30
or 50,000. Said the easiest bet of the year, easiest prop bet was Jacksonville winning the AFC South. Gosh. And I thought about that guy as Jacksonville lost to the Titans. And I was like, man, that guy. And I remember at the time, I'm like, yeah, maybe should I jump on that? Because I'm like, who thought the Texans or Dolphins would be any good? And the Titans, you never know. But wow, that guy, he ate it hard there.
Could have gotten a good price with the Texans, too.
Yeah, oh my God, right?
Worst to first.
Yeah, and I was rooting for them. I was rooting for the Texans. Even though the Colts are a traditional team, old school team, I liked the Colts when I was growing up because they had Burt Jones and then they had Peyton. But, it's good to see some new blood in there. We got to mix it up.
And it's huge for them. They get to host a game this weekend rather than going somewhere.
That is massive.
I mean, they got stuck with the Cleveland Browns and that defense.
Yeah,
but
that is true.
Yeah. But that Browns defense isn't necessarily the same on the road.
That's right.
So
let's
they also get the Ohio State quarterback.
That's true. So we're going to talk. We'll get to the NFL playoffs. Remember, we have Chris Andrews coming up. All the lines are out. It's going to be a great weekend. I like that they spread it out over 3 days.
I do too.
Right? There's a Monday night. I was wondering what the Monday night game. The Monday night game is Tampa and Philly. I thought that was an odd choice for the Monday night game.
I agree.
Right?
I thought the same thing.
I mean, because it's like that's the one game people are going to schedule their whole day around. There was an outside shot. I thought, Steelers, Chiefs, that's kind of a marquee matchup, maybe.
Yeah, but Roger Goodell was a genius and made all the Swifties now pay for Peacock on Saturday night.
I never thought. You don't think teenagers have Peacock? Well, they're watching The Office on there, maybe. I don't know. It's a good point, though. Yeah, I tweeted yesterday. I'm like, attention, everyone in Pittsburgh. Good luck explaining to your parents and grandparents what Peacock is and how to get it on their television. That is going to be a nightmare. Now, I know sometimes when games are on NFL Network, it would be on the local CBS affiliate, right? So you didn't have to worry about telling your parents or grandparents how to watch a game. Now with Peacock, I mean, is there a run on Fire Sticks at Best Buy? I have no idea how people are going to watch that game.
Well, it's great. You can watch them right here at the Sportsbook.
This is true.
Damn it, Alex again with the winner.
Here.
Yeah, come to a Sportsbook and watch the game. It's a 10 a.m. kickoff I might be right by I'll sit right in that third chair next to the woman who always knits in the sports book. We have a woman, if you ever come out to the sports book, we don't know her name. She's not here today.
We do know her. I can't remember what her name is.
Well, to talk to her. Arlene or Marlene, we thought it was her, but it's not her. Anyway, old woman who knits out there. Come down to the sports book. It is a great place. You got the deli over there, which if you watch Sports by the Book, I did a hit on their show a couple weeks ago about the deli. Unbelievable food. I never got my pastrami, but it's too late now because I'm on keto. I could eat the meat, not the bread.
I'll take it for you.
What's that?
I'll eat it for you.
There you go. I'll get the sandwich. Anyway, thank you for watching. We have a big show. We'll get to all that. We'll get to prop picks. I have a prop pick. No big surprise of what it's going to be tonight if you've watched the show. And we'll talk NFL playoffs, and Chris will be in later. But anyway, it's show number 62. Congratulations to everyone who works on the show. No exciting number 62. You know, we like to do the collage of jerseys that Ryan puts together. But instead, we're going to do something a little different. The 62nd highest paid athlete in each of the major 4 sports. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I have not looked at this list. So, you did tell me Mike Williams. So, Mike Williams, wide receiver for the Chargers, he's making what, $20 million? $20
million a year. Yeah, he had $40 million guaranteed when he signed the contract.
But he's the 62nd highest paid player, and he's making $20 million.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice, huh?
In that position or in
football?
In all the NFL. Yep.
Right. So you go to baseball and you go to these, which by the way, I'm shocked in baseball that it's not higher than the football salary. I don't know what that, because usually baseball is insane, right?
Well, I mean, Shohei made it insane.
Well, that's true.
But
and the Dodgers did it again yesterday. They did another.
With Teoscar Hernandez.
Yep.
Yeah. They deferred part of his contract too.
I think most of it. Yeah. And he's a great player. He's going to hit 30 homers at Dodger Stadium. Trust me, that guy's a beast. I was hoping, of course they're not. Anyway, Abreu makes $19.5 million as the 62nd highest paid baseball player. And let's see, and hoops. Now see, hoops, that's where the money gets insane. Kyle Lowry, $28 million, and he's 62nd. My God. Jerry's choking on that. He can't believe it. He's over there coughing. He can't believe that Kyle Lowry makes that much money. And then why don't you tell us the hockey one?
Brady Tkachuk. Yep.
How much is that?
He's making $8.2 million a year.
That's not. Now, I would have thought the number would be a little lower for hockey. The hockey salaries are getting up there.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys used to have to work in the offseason practically in hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still half of all the other sports.
It is half. Right. And they still play 82 games, right? I'm just shocked at Abreu. I mean, again, if you looked at football and baseball, well, now with quarterbacks making crazy money, the top 10 of football and the top 10 of baseball, probably you might have higher salaries than football, actually. Because you got every starting quarterback's making like 30, Daniel Jones, 40 million,
40 plus.
Mahomes, 50. I think Burrow is 55 million.
How's that working out, too? How many quarterbacks did we see this year?
Yeah, we saw quite a bit.
Exactly. That's why the Justin Fields scenario where you have to pay him, you don't have to pay him. You pick up the 5th-year option, you tag him, and that's 3 years.
His next year is 4th year.
Yes.
So you have to make a decision.
So next year would be guaranteed, and you have to make a decision before May. And so that's the 5th year.
Yeah.
And then if he's all right and you don't like any quarterback prospects in 2 years, then you franchise tag him or you sign somebody. I don't understand the narrative of you need to sign him to a $50 million contract.
I mean, hey, I thought Carson Wentz looked pretty good yesterday. I mean, for the Rams, that guy, he had like 19 or 20 rushes. He was like playing old school football.
Not exactly playing starters on the Niners defense, but
still playing NFL, an NFL game.
NFL caliber.
I always like Carson Wentz. You root for that guy. He went to South Dakota or North Dakota?
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State. And who won the big game?
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State won. Yep. Were you watching that game at all?
No, I wasn't.
Again, Chris Andrews, sportsbook director, who will be here. He was watching it because he has some grandkids or nieces or nephews that
went to Montana.
Yeah, went to Montana. But I mean, what a dumb idea to schedule that game on a Sunday.
Yeah, we had 6 morning games.
Yeah.
NFL and 7
afternoon games.
Yeah.
7 afternoon. So, yeah. So it was not a good spot.
What was the viewership on that? It was like our viewership.
Yeah.
How many subscribers, Ryan?
Credit, man. We are now over 1,000.
We're over 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for your help. Well over 1,000. We're at 1,001 or what?
1.01. So I think we're closer to 10 than.
Okay, could be closer to 10. We're going to take that number. We really appreciate it, ladies. Oh my God! Look at the live comments pouring in.
Popping.
Mike Williams also only played 62 minutes this year for the Chargers. He only played 62 minutes for the Chargers?
I'm sure he was.
Okay. Oh, 62. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You rascal, you. He's already getting all tuned up for the Washington game tonight. So 2 of my best friends, this is the weirdest thing. My friend Ryan went to Ohio State. Named Ryan. He's the biggest Michigan fan. I don't know how that works. He's a weird guy.
Did he not get any love at Ohio State?
I don't know. B-Town Dummy, you might have to tell me. He went to Ohio State, but he bleeds blue. He's going to the game. He's flying right now in Houston to the
really
game.
Interesting.
And Christian, who is B-Town Dummy, is a UW grad. So those two are going to watch a game together, but instead Ryan got a ticket without him. He's like, I got tickets. I'll see you later. There's more to that story. I'll tell you off the air. But anyway.
How much was that flight for him? I love how your guest you had last week was talking about, oh, no, that was Detroit, huh?
What? Oh, yeah.
Still
Chris
Michigan.
Newberg was talking about Detroit. Oh, the
driving,
airline tickets?
yeah. Who did he say?
He said they would drive from Michigan, yeah.
Okay, from Michigan.
Yeah, no, he said, screw it, we'll drive.
Michigan side. Okay, yes.
And he's probably right. A lot of people probably would drive from Michigan. Washington would be a long drive as well.
Could be a really long drive home.
So
or it will be for one of them.
For one of the teams.
Yep.
Mini Dart Bills will draft a quarterback with a lame duck coach and a new OC. That's the Bears' way.
Well, I mean, at this point, you're going to fire Eberflus. You can't be stuck in the same circle or cycle of you have a head coach, you draft a quarterback, you fire the head coach, you leave the quarterback for the next head coach. So, I mean, that's why I want to wish Justin Fields the best wherever he goes, but some part of that cycle needs to change.
You do. Bob Dell, one of our regular viewers, had a message for Jerry. Tell Jerry the first half of the show you should talk about Steelers-Ravens game. Second half of the show, talk about Steelers-Bills upcoming game. Oh, I am wearing a Steelers shirt because we made the playoffs. Woohoo!
Yeah, you don't have to talk about after the season for you right now. Even though I still hear people talking about Tomlin and what he's doing next. Why do people do that so much? Why can't they let them finish?
Because they need to have something to talk about.
You should read the chat boards in Pittsburgh. People want him gone, but every team in the league would probably want him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So today is National Argyle Day. Boom. Argyle socks.
Got the socks.
Can you see? And help me. And help. And there they are. Argyle socks. I wore Argyle socks. And we combined that with something, or Ryan did. Today is also National, I'm not making this up, Snuggle a Chicken Day. You think I'm making that up? It's crazy. It's a thing. So, Ryan, what did you do? You put it into AI. What'd you get?
AI. I tried to get someone snuggling the chicken.
Right.
It more just took the Argyle sweater with the the chicken. So
that is the first time in history that no, you know what? It's probably not. I was going to say that a chicken has worn an Argyle sweater. Probably not.
Yeah, no.
There's probably some weird farmers that there's probably some. You know what? We could have the woman out here who knits. We could probably have her knit an Argyle sweater. We could find a chicken. We could go to the chicken. I heard everyone keeps telling me I have to go to the chicken ranch and that I'd have a good time there. So I'm going to go to the chicken ranch, which is close by, and they give you hugs there. I hear, right? How much you can get a chicken and you can hug the chicken at the chicken ranch? Is that how it works? It seemed high. The prices seemed high.
Oh my god.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Oh, the chicken ranch is a brothel. Oh, never mind. Okay,
go.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was a place I could go hug a chicken.
Full circle though, that your show usually does. That's really funny. Did you hear Harbaugh's comments to his players about chickens?
I did not.
It's like I think he told them don't eat chickens because they're a nervous bird.
Are you serious? He said that? You know where he got that from? He got that from an episode of Modern Family.
Okay.
There's an episode of Modern Family where, not Al Bundy, Ed O'Neill, who played Al Bundy on Married with Children, who's the dad. He's Jay Pritchett. He's helping Cam coach football because Cam coaches the football team, if you're familiar with Modern Family.
Of course.
And he said you can't give them chicken before a game. It's a nervous bird. You got to go with your mutton. So I don't know. Maybe he stole that from Modern Family.
Probably.
Whoa. Jim Harbaugh watching Modern Family and buying his pants from...
Coaches get their quotes from all over the place.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed the chicken thing. I was too excited about Hug a Chicken Day. So what do they eat then? What do you eat? What did you eat before a game in high school? Pop-Tarts?
Skittles.
You're beast mode. You're Marshawn Lynch who ate Skittles before every game. National Snuggle a Chicken. Many homes do keep chickens as pets. And when comfortable, chickens enjoy being petted and held by people. They were domesticated as far back as 10,000 years ago. Would you ever have a pet chicken?
I would. But my mom had chickens growing up, and she's a vegetarian now. So it is.
Let's not go there.
Interesting turn of events.
This sounds like we should stop right here and just show that cute picture of a chicken in an Argyle sweater again. All right, and the last one before we get to talking some numbers, it's National Show and Tell Day, ladies and gentlemen. National Show and Tell Day. I said I alerted everyone on the crew to bring something in. I went and brought this in, so I'm like a little kid for show and tell. Oh, that's a nice graphic. I'm here in Vegas, and as a tourist, kind of, even though I live here now, I bought an Elvis rubber ducky, And because Elvis, which we'll talk about more coming up in a second, but there's my Elvis rubber ducky. I went on vacation and I went to the neon, what's it called? The neon graveyard. And that's where I got this. It even says neon graveyard right there. So there's it's still wet from floating.
In the bath.
If you really want to hear the story, this had sunk where it was, and I had to get a brush and get it out, and I had to stick my arm in and get it. There's water going everywhere. There's still some more water. Just a little pop. So there's my show and tell. Ryan, do you have anything for show and tell?
Yeah. My first NFL game was at SoFi Stadium.
Okay.
It was I want Justin Fields to succeed because for personal reasons.
Yes.
His first game was my first game.
Oh.
And the picks that we traded up to get him with the Giants, one of those picks ended up being Daniel Bellinger.
Daniel Bellinger, your buddy.
Yeah.
Well, so still haven't had him on the show. But
well,
the season's over.
So coming up,
All right, we're going to get Daniel Bellinger. Oh, that's a really cool show and tell. And what did you bring for us today, Alex?
I'm really sorry. I forgot. I was working, on the numbers, crunching numbers. So,
but you were thinking about bringing in.
I was going to bring my national championship ring because won it in college. Thought it was appropriate for the game tonight. So maybe I'll bring it Friday.
Bring it. We'd like to see it.
Okay.
It'd be pretty cool. And we said you're going to bring some tapes at one point. Tapes. How old am I? Bring some old half-inch tape. Jerry, did you bring anything for show and tell? Oh, he did?
Jerry's got something awesome.
Jerry! Yes. All right, Jerry. Our content manager, he's getting up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a second. Is he coming on stage?
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, Jerry, you may as well go out there.
All right, Jerry, come on out. Oh, I've seen it on TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry.
The Jerry Trevino.
Jerry Trevino, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, what do we have here? That is a Sonic person. That's a one-of-a-kind Sonic the Hedgehog guitar. Jerry, how long have you had that?
25th anniversary. I don't remember.
25th. That is unbelievable. And if you want to watch Jerry shred, do you want him up front end or where would be better?
Yeah, shred it.
All right.
He doesn't have an amp.
He doesn't have an amp. Well, just play it. Just show us how cool it looks when you play. Can you play with your mouth like Jimi Hendrix?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And Jerry, here, can you bring it up front just one more time so we can get a close-up of that? Here, show which camera, Ann?
Cam 2.
Center camera? Look at that. That is show and tell, baby.
Very good.
And Jerry, we're hopefully in the future very shortly, we're going to have Jerry is going to...
that's sweet.
He's going to write and produce and lay down a track for our new theme song.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
I have to stop talking about Pittsburgh for him to record a new song.
That's the deal.
In a couple weeks, that's a deal. All right, yeah, hopefully he will. We hope now. I don't know. That's why if it's one or the other, I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, thank you, Jerry. Ann, did you bring anything in?
Stand by.
She's got pictures of it.
She's got pictures of it? All right, show and tell picture.
Yeah.
There.
What the heck? Oh, is that big helmets or mini helmets?
Baseballs.
Oh, those are hey, maybe not. I need an eye check. Oh, those are all baseballs. Explain what those are, Ann.
Uno momento.
Well, can I hear myself?
I got you.
All right. So those are all the stadiums I've been to that I've seen a baseball game at.
What a great idea. What is the blue one?
The blue one? Which blue?
The
one?
bottom right, like at 4 o'clock?
Oh, like at 4. Oh, that's Chicago. It's Cubs.
Oh, Cubby one. Nice. Oh, that's very cool. What's your favorite one?
Well, they're different. The events were great. Like going to the Yankee Stadium. I went to Yankee Stadium the last year in the old stadium.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So I got two balls from that. And then I used to just get great seats, having some nice hookups along the way.
I love it.
So like some of them, it was just a great park experience. And then sometimes it's a Mickey Mouse one in the top center there.
Well, that's always a good one.
Yeah, so it just became my my go-to for souvenirs if I visit someplace.
That is great. That is an awesome idea. Magnets on the refrigerator. I've done that for a long time, and then it gets full, and you get kind of annoyed at how junky it looks. So baseball's a very nice one. And Drew Doug, did he bring anything, Andrew? He can take partnership in that. Oh wait, he did.
Kitty cat.
Oh,
who is that?
This is Colby. He
Catley.
didn't want to come in for
Oh, dang it.
Wait, Colby Catley, like Colby Calais, the singer?
Yeah, for all the Colby Calais fans out there. But I asked if he wanted to come in today for show and tell, but he
didn't want to come in.
He wasn't about that 9 to 5. He was. The picture on the left is actually from this morning.
Oh, it's a montage. Oh, I see. I thought that was. A collage. I thought that was a stuffed animal. I thought it was a cat toy. The one on the left.
No. I did
and that's him on the steps. Kobe Calais. Can you count me in? Isn't that from one of her songs?
It is. Yep.
A da bubbly nose and take a mind. Her dad, Kobe Calais' dad, was the engineer and the sound engineer on the album Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. No one cares. All right, anyway. Thought that was a neat trivia fact that I pulled out of my ass.
It was good.
Out of my head. All right, that's all the show and tell. That's all we have.
Good job.
That was nice.
Everyone.
It was a good job, everyone, except for one person who didn't bring anything in. Yeah, her dad, Andrew, there you go. Now you know. Her dad, the engineer. All right, let's open up Frankly Speaking, Frank or Fiction. We don't know what we're calling the segment yet. I thought Frankly Speaking isn't bad. Frank Facts, Frank Fun Facts.
I still like Frank's Fast Takes more than Frankly Speaking.
Maybe we're going back to Fast Takes. I know. We're working on it. Anyway, on this day in history in 2000, I think it's apropos since the NFL playoffs are upon us. I watched this game live, the Music City Miracle. This is like one of the worst bad beats in history, but threw a perfect pass. And the Titans were -5 in that game. So they did kick the extra point. So the final score of that game was
22-16.
22-16, so 6 points. Why would they kick the extra point? Usually when a game ends on the last play of the game.
Well, yeah, but there was still time left.
Was there a few seconds?
They had to kick it back
my
off.
bad. So, that's one of the worst bad beats. Titans were -5. So when Buffalo kicks the field goal, you're like, it's over. I got this. Touchdown and the extra point, the Titans cover at home. That is one of the worst bad beats ever.
That makes sense why they didn't go for 2.
What's that again?
So that makes sense why they didn't go for 2
Yeah,
to be
right.
up 7.
They wanted to
Because if
cover.
they didn't get it, they would be 5.
We're going to have to ask Chris about this. We're going to have to ask Chris where he was. So that was 24 years ago today, if he had any action in that game. Yeah, 22-16. Kevin Dyson with 16 seconds to run the length of the field. Frank Wycheck, rest in peace, great tight end. All right, now we're going to talk about college football, obviously coming up tonight. We got some prop picks we want to talk about. We'll talk about the game in general. But on this date in 2018, and I remember this game, I can't believe it's already been 6 years, that Tua threw the winning touchdown in overtime. Alabama beats Georgia. Do you remember watching this game?
I do.
How do
you say his last name?
Yeah, you can't. I still can't. Tua Tagovailoa. That's why I call him Tua.
Tagovailoa?
Tagovailoa.
Sure.
How do you pronounce it?
Tagovailoa.
God damn. All right, I can't do it. Gosh darn it. What?
I thought we heard of him before he came in for the second half, though. Didn't we see him at some point?
I think, like I'm saying, if you didn't watch every game.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if Bama was up big, then he came in.
Okay.
Yeah, as a general fan. Yeah, I had never heard of him as someone who hadn't watched a lot of Alabama games. I was like, what are they doing? Who is this guy? Yeah. And then he throws, and then he becomes a stud, and he's in the NFL. And now the Miami Dolphins are not hosting the Buffalo Bills, but rather they have to travel in the playoffs. What's that?
So where are they going?
You know, everyone knows. They're going to play. They're going to play. I know
Chiefs.
The Chiefs. They're going to Kansas City.
No.
No?
That is right. Yeah, they are.
It is. Why do you do this to me, Ryan? On this day in 1984, the NCAA, speaking of the NCAA, announced that the college basketball tournament will expand to 64 teams. In 1984, the tournament only was 53 schools playing a single elimination tournament. Of course, there was some bye weeks and stuff like that. So it switched to 64 and has become the March Madness we all know and love. I had no idea. I was watching hoops in the early 80s, didn't realize it wasn't 64.
Great job they did.
I know. They're really
one of the best months.
They've made it one of the greatest sporting events in the world. Probably when you talk about it, it's best in a lot of ways because it's like, look, everyone has a shot, and you gotta win out. You just gotta win out, and you do it. I mean, it's that's why March Madness is the best. Georgetown won the title
in 64. Yeah,
1984. I hate Georgetown. Sorry.
84.
What's that?
Nothing. I was just adding to what you were saying.
Annoyed by what I said?
No, adding to what you were saying.
Adding. I was like annoyed. My God.
In 84. Yeah.
Let's see. MJ. All right, let's go to pro. We're going to hoops. We went from college hoops to pro hoops. Why don't you take this one? Your boy Michael Jordan. What did he do today in the year in a year?
In 1993.
93.
Yep. Michael Jordan scores his 20,000th point.
And isn't it crazy? Look at the footage. Not that great. Not in HD. It doesn't seem that long ago to me. But Michael Jordan scores his 20,000th point. Not in HD, and what's going on? And then look, that's traveling. He's clearly walking with the ball right there. I don't know why they didn't call it on him. He got all the calls. He could take the Euro step. He could walk half court with the ball. Second fastest, second only to Will Chamberlain, who did it in 499 games. Will Chamberlain once averaged 50 points a season. It was kind of just feed Wilt. You know, Adam Sandler has one of the best bits of all time Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game, right? He goes, he scored 100 points in a game. What are you doubting the accuracy?
No
of
footage.
There's no footage. The game was played in Hershey, PA, when he played for the Sixers. So there's just one photo of him holding a sign that says 100 points. So Adam Sandler's bit is like on a timeout during the game, coach huddles up and says, "Who's got Wilt?" And then an impression of the other team. "Wilt, I'm open." You got 87 points. Bill's got 2 because you dunked one off his head. But yeah, he scored 100 points in a game. So he did it faster than Jordan, but Jordan second fastest. So there you go.
Kobe and LeBron ended up
passing him. Yeah, they did. Kobe and LeBron. But that's also they took a lot more 3-pointers. Michael Jordan didn't take a lot of 3-pointers at first.
He got that record with the 3.
Yeah, he got it on the 3 right there. But yeah.
Yeah.
Also, happy birthday. We didn't get to it yet. No, we're doing Mike. Oh, yeah, we're doing Steve Nash, another basketball thing. Los Angeles guard Steve Nash becomes the 5th player in NBA history to reach 10,000 assists. You want to talk about a guy who could dish it? Boom. That was the old pick and roll. That wasn't a pick and roll, was it? No.
Yeah.
It wasn't pick and roll.
He just didn't fully pick it, yeah.
Anyway, Nash is 5th all-time. Magic is 4th. Mark Jackson. A lot of people forget about Mark Jackson. He's a great announcer. He's 3rd. Jason Kidd, great as a head coach as well, 2nd. John Stockton, 15,806. Almost looks untouchable.
Yeah, almost 4,000 more than second.
4,000 more than second place.
Yeah.
And the way guys hog the ball nowadays, I don't know if that record's going to be broken for a long time.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't think it. Plus, John Stockton wore the short shorts. He wore the super.
Makes him faster.
Made him faster. It made him faster. By the way, the whole entire crew here, ladies and gentlemen, is sick. We just want you to know that. If you hear some noises in the background, no, Jerry, it's not your fault. My mom said, I told my mom I was sick over the weekend. She said, well, did you go out on New Year's? She knew I went out on New Year's. She saw the show. She said, a lot of people, if you're around a lot of people, so maybe I was the one who got people sick here.
Yeah.
Could have been me, Ann. But Ann's under the weather. Ryan, you're okay?
Frank. Yeah, over the weekend I was
over the weekend a little bit. Drew Dog, how are you? He's all right. Stay away from us. Alex, stay away. Keep clear.
Move to the far side of the desk.
All right, last one. Happy birthday. First of all, David Bowie. It's David Bowie's birthday. Happy birthday to David Bowie. Is that him holding a birthday cake?
Yeah.
His outfit from, is that Legend or what? No. Well, it was a fantasy movie he was in. Christian. I don't know if it's Legend. I think it was Legend. Anyway. No, it's not Legend. I can't think of it.
I don't know.
He was in a fantasy movie. Damn it. But you want to talk about birthdays today, January 8th. I knew this the other day without looking it up. Ladies and gentlemen, roll the footage. It's Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. There he is. Was this the baddest man or what? Look at this. Viva Las Vegas, and then the shake. Viva Las Vegas. I mean, come on. Elvis Presley, happy birthday to the king. There you go. You got the older Elvis in there, too. Would have been 89 today, or is he celebrating his 89th birthday somewhere? Dun, 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 dun. I was a firm believer that Elvis was still alive because I wanted to grasp onto that. Then there was this book this woman put out, and it came with a cassette tape. That's how old I am again. And you'd play the cassette, and she said she had phone recordings from Elvis.
From recent?
No, from after he supposedly died.
Okay.
So this was like in the early, mid-'80s. She's like, I talked to this guy, and he says he's Elvis. And in the interview, he's on a payphone. He's like, yeah, it's me. I went ahead, and I wanted to get over to Europe because I'd never been over to Europe. And then obviously someone disproved this right away and was like, he was in the army. He served in Europe.
Yeah.
But then she'd be like, well, I knew that, but he hadn't seen it as a tourist. It was like, you could punch holes in it. But it's a lot. If you go on the internet, you want to waste a day, go in and say, is Elvis still alive? There's videos. There's this preacher guy with silver hair that sounds like Elvis. Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
I can't think. Is he around Nevada? Why do I think the guy's even maybe somewhere around here? I don't know. But everywhere you look in Vegas, there's still Elvis. Do you have any Elvis story? Your dad's probably an Elvis fan. I have a feeling.
Oh, yeah. And my mom's a huge Elvis fan. So we went to Memphis just last March.
And you saw Graceland?
Yes. It was
I have
fantastic.
not seen Graceland.
You haven't?
I haven't.
I'm shocked.
I know. I've read so many books. My mom is the ultimate Elvis fan, who's probably still mad at me for mentioning the Monopoly board. But happy birthday to the king of rock and roll. I have not been there. I've seen many Elvis shows, many tribute shows. I know the Westgate used to be the Hilton, and I stayed there for 3 weeks shooting some once. And every night when we'd come in, there was the Elvis. There was a bronze statue of Elvis for having sold out 100 nights in a row there. I don't know if the Westgate kept it, though.
I don't either.
I hope they did.
But I would assume they did.
Yeah, you would hope so. They didn't get rid of it because he got married at the Intercontinental which is now something else. Chris will know all this. Anyway, I have a question for you. This is an Elvis question for you since you're a big Elvis fan. I have a question for your suspicious mind, Alex. I have footage of a Hall of Fame quarterback playing football on the exact same field. Because Elvis, do you have the college football footage, or do you have the football footage of Elvis playing football? Is it combined? Okay, you didn't.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about that one. That's okay. You were busy talking about Justin Fields all night to your friends, probably saying that you want him to stay. All right, so Elvis played college. He loved to play football with his friends. They played flag football a lot. On the same field where he played in Memphis, what Hall of Fame quarterback dressed as Elvis and played football? Was it Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, or Tim Tebow?
There's a hint there because Hall of Fame quarterback.
Don't! Oh, first you forget the footage, and now you're going to help her out.
I don't know.
Who do you think, Peyton or Brett Favre?
Well, I mean, I made the thing, so I can't step in.
Yeah, he can't help you. Take a guess, Brett or Peyton?
Peyton.
It's Peyton Manning. Show the footage. So he did that show where he traveled Peyton's place, so he dressed as Elvis. He found the exact park where Elvis used to play with his buddies. So he wanted to play football dressed as Elvis, so... How funny is that? Look, he's fanning the cape open.
That's an audible.
That's
an audible.
Is that what he said? It's an audible? Yeah. And then look at him just still throwing the ball deep with accuracy. Does a kid catch it?
It had to be Peyton.
Had to be
He's
Peyton
goofy,
Manning.
yeah.
Yeah, and he played at Tennessee. So there you go. Makes sense. Isn't that a great clip, though? Him playing dressed as Elvis. That's an audible. Elvis, happy birthday to the king. All right, so, Alex, let's talk about football. UT's talking about some props. Ladies and gentlemen, come down to the South Point, watch the national championship game. It starts at like 4:30 or something. Or is that just coverage at 4:30?
I think that's coverage.
Coverage is at 4:30. I don't know. When is the kickoff? No, I think it's at 4:30.
It is 4:30.
It is 4:30. It's a 4:30 kick. Kickoff coverage starts right now. I guarantee you they're already doing it. Yeah, it's an early kick for the East Coast, which is nice.
Very nice.
For kids.
Well, that's why I said after Sports by the Book from 3 to 4, if any of the crew wants to hang out and watch the game.
We could.
Either there or here. But
Chris did say that they have a booth for us.
Oh, they do? Okay, is it reserved for Denny Nagel and not me?
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get a booth here. All right, yeah, that's a good idea. Listen, you got to come down. There's going to be a ton of action. I walked in today, and someone held the door for me in a Michigan jersey, and then I saw a couple people in Washington jerseys getting Starbucks. So make sure you come down to the South Point. It's going to be a good place to watch the game. So Chris Andrews, who will be on in a few minutes, put out this sheet here. CFP championship props. So we've all taken a look at it. Alex, you took a look at it. What's grabbing your eye?
Well, first of all, the number's moving today, so we'll have to talk to Chris about that. But money for Michigan coming in because now Washington is a 5-point underdog.
Oh, wow.
Or even 5.5 at some places.
Whoa.
So this will be interesting to talk about him. And I didn't plan on coming in this aggressive, but I did wear the purple, so I am backing Washington today. Taking the points. I mean, they've won 21 straight games.
I know.
And I still think we might have them undervalued in the power rating. So I took the 5 with Washington. But yeah, let's talk about some props. So
Please.
Do you want to start with the 2 quarterbacks?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Michael Penix passing yards prop, 294.5 here on this sheet. His median this year, 326.
I know, but that Big Ten defense of Michigan, I know. All right, so what are you leaning towards? What do you like?
So I didn't do anything with the quarterbacks.
Okay, all right.
But just giving out the numbers for
294.
294
against Michigan. Although, I mean, they're going to throw the ball. He's going to throw.
They have to. And Dylan Johnson, their main running back, was injured last week in the game against
almost cost
Texas.
him the game against Texas, yeah.
So they're definitely going to rely on his arm. So he went over that prop in 10 of 14 games this year. And
1 or 2 of those were bad weather games, too, that he went under. So the guy likes to air it out. Scouts are watching. Bears are watching. Would you like the Bears to take Penny? I know you want him to trade down. What if they took him?
I wouldn't mind that closer to 10 than a top.
Yeah, he's not the number one.
Hold on. I saw reports that the Raiders may be getting him, so let's
No, because you know
let's let him come to Vegas and help
go to New York,
team.
be a Giant.
Al Davis is dead, but Al Davis would somehow come back to life to draft Penix because he loves the deep ball. That's what he loved more than anything. He wouldn't look good in a bear. He doesn't look like a bear.
No, but he can play in the weather.
He can play in the weather. Although the last lefty quarterback the Bears had that I can think of is Cade McNown. Do you remember Cade McNown? I know Chris does. Cade McNown was drafted out of UCLA.
So many
Okay, at UCLA, Cade McNown was unbelievable. He was the first. He might have been the Bears' first-round pick. So he had a reputation of being kind of a jerk. What's that?
Said, look, another LA quarterback.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of a jerk.
No. So he had a reputation of kind of being a jerk. Here's what cemented it for the local media that doomed his career. I don't know if Chris remembers this. The day of his introductory press conference, he shows up, parks in a handicap spot, and comes into the press conference to introduce himself after having parked. Because he, in UCLA, he parked anywhere he wanted. Westwood parking sucks. He parked anywhere. Later came out that he had all these tickets. Parked in the handicap spot and said, hey, I'm your new quarterback. And the Chicago media was like, oh, boy, here we go. Still looking for that elusive great quarterback, aren't you? I loved him, too, at UCLA, but, yeah, he did that.
So are the Steelers.
Yeah, what?
So are the Steelers.
We have Mason Rudolph looking up right now. I'm looking at, is that, oh, that's Green Bay. They both have yellow pants. Have they not? Yeah, thank you, Chris. Come on in. Let Chris Andrews
have him anymore.
The director of the sports book.
You don't have him anymore.
We don't have Ben.
We weren't searching.
Yeah, we weren't searching.
You are now.
You guys have searched it since Sid Luckman.
All right.
I mean, that's, what, 78 years, 80 years?
Okay.
Who's your best quarterback? Bobby Douglas?
Jim McMahon, I guess. He's
1 year. Thank you.
Funky quarterback who wore a Bears jersey
side.
to his the White House when he won with the Packers. So, bear the down.
See, first couple months of that. Look at that. Mouthing off to his boss, to both bosses.
I know.
That's right.
You're back to calling him Mr.
That's
Nicotero.
right.
Yeah.
Wait, McMahon won a ring with the Packers?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he did as a backup? I didn't even know that. Chris Andrews, our sportsbook director here, is wearing it. This is the purple side here.
Yeah.
You're
That's
wearing your UW shirt.
Well,
Is that how you want people to bet, or are you feeling you want to?
no, everybody knows. When I go I go a lot of places. When
Sure.
I'm on a college campus, I like to get a shirt.
You do.
I have a UW shirt. I'm wearing it today.
There
If
you
I'm
go.
not wearing it today, when am I going to wear it?
Have you ever been to the big house in Michigan? I've never been there. Yeah,
if I had a Michigan shirt, I'd probably wear that. But no, I take that back. 'Cause I don't wear any Big Ten other than Penn State.
Penn State, because that's
But
where
now
you're
it's so big, I can't even keep track of who's in it.
So Alex just brought up a good
Big
point
40.
that there's a lot of movement on this game. I mean, the sheet
Yeah.
says 4. So what's going on?
We're up to 5. I'm up to 220 with the money line. All over the place with the total. I can't even remember where I'm at with
It
the
says
total.
56 on the sheet.
Nah, it's not 56 anymore, but I can't remember if it's 56.5 or 55.5 because I've been all over the place. But a lot of money for Michigan coming in today. We had some early action on Washington, which is good. Set me up good. Futures are good. Futures are good both ways. They're good with Washington. They're great with Michigan. So I'm in kind of a, right now I'm going to probably need Washington, though, once they kick off. Probably. But we got, 5 hours to go?
Well, it's an early kick. It's at 4:30.
Oh, we got 4 hours.
Less than 4 hours away. Oh, my goodness. All right.
30. Who
That's
cares
if they
about these
kick
East
off on
Coast
time.
people?
I know.
Come on.
Well, it's good for kids that I guess that the game's starting at 7:30. They can be in bed by 9:30.
And they get their action in early.
Oh, that is so late for East Coast. Even 7:30.
I know.
And that's a
How
nice
did they
time
do
for
it?
them. I have no idea.
I could barely do it here.
Me too.
Well, when I was a kid, Monday Night Football started at 9.
Yeah.
And I remember Monday Night Football game would be at 9, and I had a TV in my room. I would turn it was a black and white. It was a black and white. Only got 2 colors, Ryan. Black and white. So what I would do is I would turn the brightness down so the brightness wouldn't emanate from under the door. My parents would walk by and not know. So I'd watch like a game, and it started at 9, and halftime wasn't until like 10, and I wanted to see the halftime because they always did like.
It's the only
Howard
time you got highlights.
Yeah,
I tell people today, they don't believe me.
No.
When I gave my Uncle Jack Hall of Fame speech, I said, back then we had one game on Saturday, one college game. That was it. Everybody's looking at me like, no. And a couple of the older guys are saying, yeah, that's what it
Keith
was.
Jackson.
One game on Saturday.
Yeah, right. And that's where you got highlights. You're right. At halftime, Howard Cosell. And
it's the only time you saw it.
And that's where I would try to stay up till halftime at least, but it was a struggle, man. It was like 10:30. And games wouldn't be over till midnight. I remember when the Steelers were playing the Oilers in 79 when we moved back there, and I would try to stay up and watch the game, and there was a weird onside. I missed the whole thing and had to get up and see the highlights on the Today Show with Tom Brokaw or something. But, 9 o'clock kickoff.
That's crazy.
It was at midnight. Games are running at midnight. That was ridiculous. So Alex was talking about some prop bets, and she was just pointing out Michael Penix, and then did you want to talk J.J. McCarthy's over?
Yeah, let's talk about J.J. McCarthy. So his passing yards prop bet is 203.5. Median for this year, 217. He had 221 in the game against Bama, so he had a huge game last week. So I think that's why it's a little bit. Well, actually, his median is higher than it. I don't know. I think that might be a good one because.
Why? Which way?
J.J. McCarthy passing over.
Over. Okay.
Well, I think that if Washington's smart, they're going to shut down Blake Corum. And I think that means they're going to have to rely on J.J. McCarthy's arm. And
I think
have to throw it a little more.
That's the key right there.
It
Can
is
they
the
shut
key.
down the running game or not? I think that's the key, and that's big question mark. Listen, I think it's going to be a great game tonight.
Yeah.
I really have a lot of respect for both coaches. the Washington coach kind of screwed up the time the other day, but I mean, he's really been a terrific coach all year. One game, I mean, something like what call it the fog of war. Sometimes you get a little confused.
Yeah.
But he's been a terrific coach. Both these guys are great coaches, and they're going to try to take away whatever the other team does best. Can they succeed? Some guys are saying, Penix has never faced a defense like this all year. Well, pick any quarterback. They got the best defense in the country.
Yeah, right.
The second best, one of the two.
Yeah.
Nobody's faced a defense like this, but we'll see. I mean, that's going to be the test of the game. You got, two, great opponents at this point, and I'm looking forward to a terrific game. And at this point, I don't even know who I'm going to need.
Yeah. And what was Washington at the beginning of the year to win the national championship?
Not that high.
Really?
We kind of knew they were going to be good. I'm trying to think maybe like 30-1, something like that.
All right. Now, Ryan, a real quick question here for you. Jim Harbaugh, if he wins or he doesn't win, everyone thinks he's leaving Michigan.
Yeah. I'd welcome him back to Chicago.
Take him as a Bears coach?
Yeah. Why not? He knows Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He played against him.
Yeah, played against Justin Fields, so he knows what the kid can do.
Do you think Harbaugh stays or goes, even win or loss?
I think he goes.
I think he goes no matter what, right?
No matter what. Yeah.
After that whole controversy, the whole season, he was only on the sideline for what, 5 games? I mean, he missed the first 3 and then the middle 3 there.
Plus, he's been to the Super Bowl as a head coach in the NFL.
And by the way, he was almost there as a player. I was at Three Rivers Stadium on that Hail Mary.
Were you really?
I was.
Ooh.
I was right here. It was at the opposite end of the field. It was against the Steelers Colts. 90,
right here.
Whatever year.
I think it was the 90s.
Yeah, 96 when we played Dallas. Yeah, 90, it was December of 95, January 96, whatever. Threw the Hail Mary, and I think the guy's name was Bailey for the Colts. I thought he caught it. And if you watch, there is a hush in the stadium until you see the ref go like this, and we're like, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl.
That's funny. When he let go of it, I said, this is way out of the end zone. And then you see, wait, no, it's not.
Yeah. That was, I mean, if that would have happened, oh my God, that would have been devastating to me. But I know
the Charger loss was devastating enough.
The Charger loss was the worst.
That was
14-point favorites, I believe.
For you.
No, we were.
Ann's a Charger fan.
No, I think we were only 10-point favorites. But
something huge, yeah.
Money wise, I made a fortune that weekend.
I'm sure.
So kind of a long story, but I was one of the only guys in town taking teasers on the playoffs, and I told my bosses, I said, you can't take teasers all year and then not take them in the playoffs. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
So it was one of those deals where they teased, and I'm trying to think. It was the Niners were hosting Dallas.
Right.
It was like a 7-point favorite.
So they're getting them to even.
So they teased them down to even, but I had a ton of money on Dallas on the money line. So it
was a good week.
It was a good weekend there. But then they teased the hell out of Pittsburgh.
Right.
And I got nothing on the money line on San Diego.
Yeah.
So it was like I remember a huge weekend. My bosses are slapping me on the back. Oh, great job, great. And I'm thinking, the
Steelers didn't go to the Super
Bowl. Wasn't that great?
By the way, the Music City Miracle, which I know you talked fondly about, and we were talking about Frank Wycheck, who passed away the week that it happened in Kansas City with Kelsey.
Right.
And no one was talking about it.
Nobody talked about it.
I saw Wilbon finally mention it, but the line was -5 on the Titans, so they kicked the extra point and covered. Do you remember that game?
I do, and it's so funny because I've been a bookmaker all my life, but a lot of my friends are on the other side of the counter. So my cousin, he calls me. He says, when Buffalo scored, he goes,
they kicked a field goal.
I ran across the street. I had to go do something. By the time I got across the street, and he got killed on the game.
Oh, my God.
I says, well, I did great. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, my God. All right, so you had a couple props you wanted to give out, right, Alex?
Well, so that we went through the quarterbacks. Okay, so I do like Blake Corum under his rushing yards. The prop is 104.5.
Under 104.
His median on the year is 77. So
by the way, I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing up medians.
That's funny. I said to Frank, when Chris comes in here, maybe he can do a good job explaining.
I have had so many problems with people over the years who just go by averages.
Okay.
Average, and I sent that little picture out. We don't want to talk about it because we don't want to get political. But averages.
That was a great example, though.
Yeah, but averages can really skew the numbers.
Well, what is a median for those people who are wondering?
Essentially, the number that's in the middle.
Okay.
Half over, half under.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Averages. So if I remember one guy telling me the average horse paid like $15 or something like that at a track.
Right.
I said, well, you can't go by the average. If you had 6 horses that paid $240 and one that paid $68,
right.
You're going to go by the average. That doesn't tell you the story.
Right.
And he looked at me like, Oh yeah,
that's a good point.
So you got to go by what's the middle where you can get half will go over. In our line of work, half will go over, half will go under. And averages can totally distort that. To be honest with you, medians can distort it too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you have to look a little bit deeper. But medians are much better than averages to go and look to make your number. And congratulations, young lady, for bringing it up on the show the other day. And somebody pointed it out to me. I said, "Oh, thank God," because usually they'll say, "Oh, his average run is 4.9 yards." Okay.
Well, Barry Sanders would be a good example of median, right? Because he'd have 90-yard runs, but then he'd have 2 yards, 1 yard, 2 yard, lose a yard.
I mean, almost every running back is like that. They rip off a 60-yard run.
Yeah.
And you can't. I said, well, yeah, but they do that for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, you have to go look a little bit deeper. But medians are a much better way, and again, they're not flawless either.
Sure.
But they're a much better way to look at numbers when you're handicapping than averages.
All right.
Anyway, young lady, go ahead.
I thought I found the average, too, for Blake Corum, but I didn't. But an example, though, Penix's passing yard, his median is 326. His average is 332. So sometimes it doesn't really matter. And you just know he's very consistent through the air this year. But, so I'm going under in Blake Corum's. And then there's one wide receiver I'm going to take a shot on, and that is Washington's wide receiver, Jalen Polk. His receiving yards is 53 and a half. Went over that in 9 of the 12 games he played in. Only 57 against Oregon, but 122 against Texas. So it's tough because they have the 3-head monster, right? They have 3 really good wide receivers. You don't know which one. I just think his is a little bit low. So
I do too.
Let me tell you right now, nothing wrong with playing a hunch.
No, exactly. Well, and also, didn't he had the 77-yard completion against Texas right away?
Yes, he did.
So his over hit in one play, which people like me love, and also a B-Town dummy. All right, so those are your 2 props?
Those are my 2, yes.
So Polk over, Corum under, and I'll just just because you just mentioned this, Odunze, I have bet him all year. I have bet his overs all year. My buddy Christian, who went to UW, and I watched a lot of Washington games with, we always took him. We had him last week against Texas, last week. 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? Last week. It was last week. Was it 2 weeks ago? It was January 1st. All right, the whole year's played. He was 100. He was about 100 and a half, 101 and a half, depending on where you got in. 3 minutes ago in the game, he had that pass, maybe Penix's best pass down the sideline, kind of the back shoulder or whatever. Anyway, that was the one that put him over. So I've won all year with him. So I'm going to take the same. I'm going over Odunze. I really like his over, and I think they're going to have to throw the ball a lot to win. Like you said, starting running backs out. Ryan, do you have any props in this game that you're looking at?
Oh, he is going to play.
He is going to play.
Yeah.
But he's not 100%.
Right.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you, Alex. Ryan?
So prop that I like, both quarterbacks touchdown props are both 1.5. I like J.J. McCarthy's over 1.5. That's plus money. It's 140 here at South Point. He had 2 passing touchdowns last week against Alabama. If Washington does end up stopping Blake Corum, they're going to have to score somehow. Yeah. And so that'll be through the air. And J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, I looked at that as well. And even though Corum doesn't have the record now for touchdowns with Michigan, I thought 1.5. I thought in this game it's going to be a shootout. I mean, everyone's saying 31-28, somewhere in the high 50s. I know the over-under's about 55.5 or 56 here.
55.
That makes sense. Nothing on Penix, though? Or what do you think of Penix, though?
Well, his you have to lay $2 for over 1.5.
Oh, it is minus
so
2.
It's a big favorite.
We're not in the habit of giving away money. Well, I shouldn't say we're not in the habit. We're not in the business of giving away money. Sometimes we are in the habit of giving away money.
My question about this game is it's going to be won and lost on the line of scrimmage. Can the Michigan defense beat the Joe Moore Award-winning offensive line for Washington and get pressure on Michael Penix? We saw what happens with Michael Penix last week with him not facing any pressure. He can just carve you up and pick you apart. Can Michigan's massive defensive line get through it, force him out of the pocket, and beat them that way?
Very well said.
All right. And we haven't had Chris here in a couple weeks because Monday was Christmas. It was New Year's Day. So we're glad to have you in here. While we have you here, and before Friday when Alex comes back and we talk the NFL playoffs, we got to look at the NFL playoffs right now. It looks like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. We'll look at the Super Bowl, which is being played right down the street, ladies and gentlemen. We're very excited. Super Bowl is going to be here in a month. Baltimore Ravens plus 325, even after that game. Of course, none of their starters were playing. The longest shot, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why is Tampa Bay Philly the Monday night game, Chris? Why would that be the feature game by the NFL?
I'm not in charge of programming.
I know.
Obviously, the Montana, the South Dakota State game with. Who made that decision?
By the way, you're talking about yesterday's championship, the FC. What is it called?
FCS.
The FCS. And you actually watched the game, right?
Well, yeah, because I got 2 daughters and a grandson in Montana, and my one daughter, I'm going to sing her praises, just got admitted to the doctorate program at.
Congratulations!
Oh wow,
Very
congrats!
Well, a medical doctor. She's not going to perform heart surgery.
Right. It could have been.
It's a education.
All right, and who won? And
that's
did South
awesome.
Dakota? Who won the game yesterday?
South Dakota
State was
Okay.
dominant.
Okay.
Yeah, they were good.
It seems like those Dakotas always win. So anyway, looking at the NFL, what's the book like on the early action going on?
I don't know so far.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of, they bet me. Got to run through the games real quick. I'll tell you.
Sure. Well, here they're right there. Yeah. We start. The first game is Cleveland, Texas.
Well, they laid 2.5, took 3.
Okay.
Laid 2.5 on Cleveland, took 3 on Houston. Chiefs. I opened 3. They laid it. They laid a little 3.5. I went to 4 on a hunch.
Okay.
Because I think the public, once they find out it's going to be 0.
It's going to be 0 degrees.
0 degrees in Kansas City on Saturday night. I think those Miami boys, and I'm not telling you the winner. I'm just telling you what people are going to bet. So I went to 4. There's a couple 4s in the market, but usually like some plus money on the favorite. But I went to 4 flat. We've already gotten a little bit of business, but I'm going to take some more because I think it's going to end up at 4. And then the Bills, I opened 9.5. They laid it. I went to 10. They took it. I went back to 9.5. They laid it again. I'm back to 10.
Back to 10.
Cowboys, I opened 8. They took it. I'm down to 7.5.
Okay.
Lines back and forth between 3, 3.5, 3, 3.5. I like the 3.5.
Stafford revenge game.
I think Detroit has been one of the strongest. I think I have 2 teams with a 3-point home field advantage, and Detroit is one of them.
Yeah.
KC
and Detroit, right?
Yeah, I think right. Well, no, not KC.
Oh, KC's not with
no
3
KC, Dallas. I think, and
Yes.
I think
at
Dallas
least.
and Green Bay are both 3. And
sorry.
anyway, I think 3.5 is a better number. And Philly and Tampa.
Ugh.
I opened 2. They laid it. They laid 2.5. I went to 3. They took it. I think it's going to be a 2.5, 3 game. But well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't bet Philly.
That's the ugliest game.
No way I could bet.
That is
Philly.
such an ugly game that they put on Monday night. I still don't get it.
I
But
bet Philly in that game. That looks like a good teaser game for the dog.
I teased Philly yesterday.
You teased Philly
against the Giants.
How'd you do?
I did not do well at all. By the way, I was never in it.
No.
I had the other 2 legs were winners. I mean, the Eagles. You're kidding me? That's what you show up with on the final game of the year?
Hey, by the way, we got show and tell. I got 1 show and tell.
You do?
I didn't bring it because it's a hanging in my office. It's way too big.
All right, we'll put a picture of it on Friday.
I got a picture of it.
Oh, you have a
here.
picture of it.
I got a picture of it. I don't know if anybody could zoom in on it. I don't know if you could zoom in on it. Yeah, you probably can't. It's too small.
What is it?
But there's a little story behind that. I've tried to tell it as quick as I can.
Yeah, take
There's
your
a
time.
guy. This is up in Reno. Guy hit me up one time. I can't remember the story. I lent him $300.
Okay.
And he was still betting in my joint and all that. And I didn't pester him or anything.
Right.
But every once in a while, you ever going to pay? Oh yeah. I got some good
Once I hit
plays this
this one.
weekend. Yeah. I mean, this went on. So finally, this is a couple years. I asked him, I'm like, listen, we both know I'm not going to pay you back. Would you take these pictures and we'll call it even? Well, it was the pictures of like in 5x7s or whatever it is of the 1960 Pittsburgh Pirates starting lineup.
Yeah. I think you told me this story.
I showed you the picture,
you did.
and you catcher, first base, second base, short,
you have the diamond.
3 of the pitchers, and Danny Murtaugh, the manager. Then I made a little plaque. And I finally said, "Well, it's either this or I'm getting nothing."
Right, you must.
So I am going to get it. So I got it, and I got it hanging in my office. It's one of my most.
But how much did the framing job cost? More than
300 probably, something like that. So it cost me a lot to get that, but it's still hanging in my office, and I love that collection.
I think it's the movie Bronx Tale, right, where Chaz Palminteri's Sonny, and the kid sees a guy that owes him $20, and he wants to run after him. He's like, "What are you running after him for?" He goes, "You hate the guy, right? Well, there you go. $20, you never have to see him again or talk to him again. It's worth $20." Something like that. And in your case, you got something out of it.
Yeah.
Colosino got nothing. Colosino, that was his name. What a great show. I mean, what an informative show. So tonight, just recapping your 2 picks. And did you have anything else tonight or just the 2 props?
No, that's it. So I was going to talk to you about Penguins, Flyers under 6, but
you like it or you don't like it?
I do like it.
You do like it?
Yeah. I think it should have been 5.5, but last time, actually,
we had the wrong goalie.
We had the wrong goalie. Yeah, Jari wasn't
Good
playing in that
Jari.
game, right?
And these 2 hate each other.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a battle.
This is the biggest right. These teams. I've been to. My buddy Bill, who will be out here with Josh Owie, is going to be in studio on the 20th, January 20th, because they're coming out for the Penguins Golden Knights game. And he took me to a Flyers Penguins game once, and it was ugly. The stands were ugly.
Yeah.
The game got ugly. There was fighting at the end. It's just, that's a bad rivalry right there.
It's our own show, right? I got another quick story.
Yeah, go
when
for
I'm
it.
in college.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm in college, I got to meet 3 of my buddies down at the arena. We're going to watch a hockey game tonight. I have the tickets at home. I'm running late, of course. I run the red light, like right on the corner where my house is, right on the corner.
Right.
I didn't see the cop. Pulls me over. He goes, "Kid," and he looks at my license. "Kid, what are you doing? You live right here."
Yeah.
I says, "Well, I'm late for the hockey game." I says, "I had my tickets at home. I got to go beat my buddies." And, and he just looks at me. "Playing Philly tonight, right?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah. Go ahead. Get the hell out of here."
Nice.
Yeah.
See that? Had they been playing somebody else, maybe he doesn't let you go.
Detroit or
Yeah,
LA.
he doesn't want you to miss the game.
Sorry, I got to write you up. Yeah.
That was a good cop right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, enjoy the national championship game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan, do you have any feel for the game? I mean, we're all rooting for Washington because we were gifted on Christmas.
We're all giving those tickets.
A win ticket on Washington from Ann, our director. So do you know where your ticket is, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Jeff Parles said it's in one of 2 places. He's not sure. I found mine. It's at home, so I'm waiting hopefully to cash it tonight.
Good.
But who do you like in the game tonight?
I don't know. I have been very much into the noise factor. And so I think that everybody and their mom has been hyping up Washington. This team hasn't gotten enough respect.
Yeah.
Michigan's had the mantra all year of us against everybody.
Right.
And I think they took that bulletin board material real seriously, and I kind of like them to cover tonight.
All right. You like
Michigan.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I mean, I wouldn't mind the ticket win.
Oh, yeah. We got money on it. Jeez. All right.
I'm expecting a close game, maybe a 3-point game. So that's why I took the points with Washington. But I won't be disappointed if either win. Like you said, they've both been through a lot this year and overcome a lot. So I'm excited about both of them being in that position.
All right. Remember, it's an early kickoff, and Sports by the Book is on today at 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. So they're going to go. They're going to have more information for you. Chris, you're on the show.
I'm on the show. And probably Benny will stop in for that one.
And I would love to hear what Jeff Parles takes is on some of these props and some stuff. So come back and watch.
I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're keep extending it.
Go.
When I made my numbers last night and I made Buffalo a 10-point favorite, I was like, oh no, it's probably like 7 and Frank's going to be really mad at me. And it was right there. How do you feel about that?
It's a lot of points. Steelers have been running the ball so effectively.
No JJ Watt.
What's that?
No TJ Watt.
No TJ Watt. That does hurt.
That's
her biggest
at least
help down.
half a point.
Marcus Golden. I know. That's probably
least half a point.
A little
maybe
more
a
with
point.
that mobile quarterback.
Buffalo has the 4th worst run defense. So the Steelers are running the ball the way the offensive line is gelled. It's going to be cold there. It's Steeler weather. I actually wanted them to play Kansas City because I think we would have beat Kansas City. I wanted Kansas City.
I'm looking to ugly it up.
Yeah.
And we could play really good ugly against Kansas City.
Yes.
Buffalo could play really good ugly against us.
Agree. I totally agree. So I was a little disappointed. I wanted to see KC. Because what would have that line been, do you think? KC Steelers? Steelers traveling to KC at 0 degrees out?
First of all, like I said, KC has the most overrated home field advantage
they do.
in football.
Oh, really? Okay.
The most overrated.
They say
not that they don't win.
Right.
They just win just as much on the road. There's no difference.
Okay.
I would probably like 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
Like that.
Still a touchdown. Damn. All right. Well, we'll see. It's going to be good. Let's see how the week plays. But anyway, tonight, the most important thing, college football playoff. Go UW. I'm rooting for UW and Odunze over 100. Quorum under. And what was your other prop?
It was Polk.
Polk over.
Jalen Polk over.
She gave you an under and an over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the show. We'll be back tomorrow. Chris Andrews, we haven't seen Chris in like 3 weeks. Glad he's back. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Drew Dog in the house filling in. And Feel Better and Jerry. The whole crew's got the sniffles. Vitamin C. Vitamin C is what Ann told us to do. All right. Punchlines live in Nevada every show. See you tomorrow.